and sisters. I want to welcome all of you on the behalf of ISCN, our family night. Today's topic is, as you know, it's about, to share some knowledge about the IT career. We, as individuals here, have, come up with a lot of experience. We're going to share some ideas, different topics. One thing I just wanted to be clear that, we are, as a speaker and as a ISCN, not giving any kind of guarantees about the jobs. This is a purely knowledge sharing session. Some of the facts about the IT we're going to cover today, but some of the big topics are that we're going to cover is the network administration, system administration. We're going to cover IT overview as a whole. That was the scope of it. We also going to cover Linux administration, cloud computing, and my favorite, cybersecurity. With that, we're going to start, and I wanted to introduce Brother Abdul. He's right here. He's the first speaker. Brother Abdul is, if you don't know, if you live in Corona, you probably know him. If you're outside of Corona, then I'll introduce you. He's living in the community for so long. He was the IT chair of the masjid, and mashallah, he has 15 years of experience. So he's going to cover a lot of good stuff. Take a lot of notes. One thing I wanted to share with you is we have 4 different sessions we're going to cover. So we're going to go straight all those 4 sessions. Save your question and answers. We're going to cover that either after Isha, or if we were able to finish it before Isha, then we'll finish it before. We're going to take a hard stop at 8:20 for the Isha prayer. We're going to come back and continue whatever is left and the Q&A. So this is what the format is, and I'm going to hand it over to Brother Abdul.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How is everybody doing today? Alhamdulillah. I see a lot of people. So on a show of hands, can people who have some background or some interaction with IT, can I see a raise of hands? Okay, not that much, mashallah. So maybe a good session today. So if you could describe information technology in one word, what could it be? Anybody? Just one word or 2 words? Software, okay. Internet. Data, okay, perfect. That was the word I was looking for, actually. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, the brother got it, nailed it. Data. The entire world is revolving around data, right? Everything is about data. What you shop online, data, right? That's why people are offering, big companies are offering things for free in return for what? Your data, right? Soon we're going to have a tag. Maybe they will not know you by person. This is Muhammad, this is Ahmad, this is Yusuf, or somebody, but they will definitely know you by a data tag. So and so person loves cars. Such and such person loves to go outing, camping. So based on that, they're going to sell your information, and probably you already see that. When you open your internet, you browse something, you go to YouTube, you get ads based on what you have searched. So data is very important these days. So I'm going to move on with the basic definition of what IT is. So it is a very broad term that encompasses the use of computers, networks, hardware, software, and digital systems to do what? To store, retrieve, transmit data. And it manages it in a very efficient way. So basically, IT is nothing but dealing with data. And how we deal with? Using software, using the internet. So that's all we are doing. But why? What does information technology do to us? So it has enhanced efficiency and productivity. How it automates a lot of processes. We see there is a lot of automation these days. So it reduces manual work and it improves efficiency, leading to increased productivity within the organizations. It also helps us in making decisions. For example, if you want to buy a car, you go online, you do your research, right? You go to a bunch of dealer sites, or if you're buying a used car, you compare other sites to see what is the best price you have, what mileage it has. So it makes you make educated and data-driven decisions. Then it also does the global connectivity. So right now with IT, there is no borders. You can sit here in Corona and talk to somebody in the UK, to somebody in the Canada, do transactions with them. You have a thing that is local to Corona, you can sell it to India, Pakistan, right? So there is no borders with IT. So it's global connectivity. It helps a lot in innovation and competitiveness because it reduces manual work. And it's cost effective. Like the time and the energy it takes for a person to do a single job, IT automates that, and it is cost effective in a lot of ways. So thinking of certain industries, so I'm going to cover an IT on a very top level to see how IT helps us and what are the various fields that IT can be leveraged. So what are the applications of IT in various industries? Healthcare. We have electronic health records. Like for example, we have Kaiser Permanente, that is one of the big healthcare providers here, and they are pioneers in medical IT. They have if you go to the doctor can just type in your name and there is the entire information of your healthcare records, when did you take your last flu shot, what are your allergies and things like that. So it helps them provide you the best medical attention. And not only that, but it's also helping in medical imaging. Like there is robotic surgeries that is happening right now. So behind this, no doubt there is medical innovation to that, but there is IT that complements that medical innovation. In terms of education, automotive, okay, like just we gave an example right before, that if you want to search for a car, you can do that. And right now, you have an app, you can locate where your car is. Or if it's too hot right now, you can pull up your phone, start your car, turn on the AC. By the time you get to your car, it's going to be cold and nice. We have self-driving cars, right? So all this is innovation that is happening with the help of IT. In real estate, I am not sure, I don't see any real estate agents here, at least not that a few people that I know are not here, but it helps you with real estate also, right? Like there is 3D tours during COVID, nobody was going out looking for houses in person, but right now if you go to Zillow.com or what's the other site? Redfin.com, you can take 3D tours. How is that happening? Over the internet, IT. You have education. COVID kind of put a full stop, paused the world, but education did not stop. People tried to get the education delivered using different information technology. Zoom meetings happen, there is virtual campuses happening, there is satellite campuses happening, like a university in somewhere in some corner of the country is providing its education in the other corner using virtual university, virtual academies. Then you have finance and banking. We don't carry cash anymore. All we do is carry our credit cards in our pockets. And we need to make sure that the transactions are secure, right? And also we have a huge threat right now for financial institutions. So we get fraud detection. Let's say you get a weird purchase on your credit card. The bank calls you immediately. There is no person monitoring your credit card. There is fraud detection systems that are put in place using IT that detects that unusual transaction and they block it and call you. There is retail and e-commerce. I don't have to speak about this. Amazon is a big giant. Every kid knows Amazon right now. Walmart, Target, their brick and mortar stores are not doing any good right now. They have to have an online presence. It's not even for big shops, but even small shops, like garage shops. You have a clothing store, you have any other store, you have beard oils, or you have perfumes or something like that, you can put it up online, and you can set up an online store at a click of a button, and you have an online presence where people can go purchase your product. Transportation and logistics. It's amazing how the Amazon trucks comes and delivers our packages, and you can track on the app where the truck actually is. It shows you that your house is the next second stop or third stop. How is that happening? It's all being tracked using information technology. Not only that, it also helps with logistics. Like if you need to deliver a package to 100 houses, the software is going to optimize that and give you the best route on which house to stop first, which one to stop second, so on and so forth. We have entertainment and media. Streaming is a big business now. Video games. Video games is a top business now. So entertainment and media, manufacturing. You can even in manufacturing, you can have computer-aided designs, CAD, where you can design using the software. You have 3D printers where you can print prototypes and things like that, and you can. It's going to help in the manufacturing, and so on and so forth. Energy utilities. We have smart grids that control the energy utilities and things like that. The list goes on and on. Moving on. So as you can see, information technology has a huge potential, and it's a very broad topic. There are a lot of career paths within IT. I'm going to touch upon a few. Software development and engineering. So IT is not all about coding. So not all IT people are nerds. They are cool people. 2 of them are sitting right here.
I don't know about that.
So software development and engineering, so you design code, you write the code. There are different programming languages. I'm not going to go into the detail of that, but you can test software applications and systems. There's mobile app developers, like you see a lot of apps that are on your phones. So you have that. You have web developers. You can go on the website, like every website, like we have coronamuslims.com. We have other websites, automotive websites, financial websites. So web developer, then there is DevOps engineers who kind of like act as a bridge between the developers and the deployment process. Then there is cybersecurity, very hot topic. With a lot of data, there needs to be a lot of gates to make sure the data stays in secure hands. So cybersecurity has a huge boom right now. And with cybersecurity, you have information security analysts who protect the organization's data, make sure the devices are secure, no rogue access is granted. Then you have ethical hacking. You have the rogues who hack, and they get jail if they get caught. But there is ethical hacking also if you're into hacking. And there is testing where you will be paid to break into an application ethically, so that I know if I'm developing an application, I know what my security risks are, I know where my application breaks. You could do that. Then you have network and system administration. You see, like we are connected, just a wire goes here, and things appear on the TV all over the campus. There is a lot that goes behind that. So there is networking and system administration. There is data science and analytics. With a lot of data, we need people whose skills can be utilized to analyze those data and do proper reporting or make sense of that data. So that is a big industry right now as well. There is artificial intelligence and machine learning. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about ChatGPT, but but there is a lot going on, right? There is artificial intelligence. There is huge systems that are doing a lot of things, getting information in a click of a button. There is database administration. There is quality assurance and testing to make sure the things we put out on the internet are proper and meets the standards. And then there is IT consulting. But not all IT jobs have to do with computers or coding or networking or all of that. There is jobs that you could have that does not require any of those, like project management and education and training. With project management, you just manage your resources. You need to know how to put them to work efficiently, how to manage their work, distribute the work, get work done. And education and training as well. Like right now we are doing is training. You could do that. Learn something about a particular topic, and you can go create your own YouTube channel and train people over there. So moving on, what have been the IT general trends over the last 10 years? job growth. I don't have to stress much on that, but you can see there is tremendous job growth within the IT industry in the last 10 years. Because of the technological advancements, like IT is evolving at a very rapid pace. You see advancements in cloud computing, artificial intelligence, data analytics, cyber security, mobile technologies. So there is demand for IT all over. So the job growth has been immense in the past 10 years. And there is specialized roles like data scientists, cybersecurity experts, cloud architects. There is demand for that. Then with IT, there is a good benefit that you don't have to go and work in person. And COVID has changed that a lot as well. Most of the jobs are hybrid, if not remote. So you have that flexibility where you could sit in the comfort of your home. If you're a traveler, you could travel and still have a job that pays the bills. There is a lot of skills in demand. Like I said, Python programming is one of them, data analysis, machine learning, cybersecurity. These are just examples keep on coming over and over and over. And IT industries are also doing a very good thing about the diversity inclusion, meaning they are putting certain jobs aside for our women folk, for the sisters, because they want inclusion. Some for people with different ethnic backgrounds, from different geographic backgrounds. So we have that as well. So it's kind of like repetitive, why IT? So I pulled out some real-time statistics. So the US Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the employment within the IT industry is predicted to grow 11% faster than any other industry. And that's from 2019 to 2029. That's a big growth analysis. And IT roles have generally offered a competitive salaries. If you have the right skill set, they would pay whatever you want. Maybe you have heard in the news about Meta developers making over 300,000, 400, 500,000. Maybe not every IT job offers that, but it is competitive. The salary is competitive, and you get a good salary with good demand. And again, you have remote work and hybrid models where you don't have to leave your comfort. So pausing there for a second, and from a 10,000 level, let's move on a little bit, zoom in on Linux and cloud administration in particular. Why Linux and cloud administration? So choosing a Linux and cloud administration can be a fulfilling and rewarding choice, because there is a lot of industries, and we know you use a lot of things, but in the background, most of them are server-based. And there is a lot of other flavors of servers also, but most of them are Linux. So you have a good chance and potential of your job stability and growth as well. And everything is moving to cloud nowadays. So you have good potential there. So you have high demand and job opportunities. Salaries are competitive. You have global relevance. You can sit here and apply for a job in Canada, in UK, in Australia, and you have the right skill set. You can apply for a job in East Coast. If you are a morning person and like to wake up early, you could do that, and you could get a job from there. It also helps you with skills development and growth, since IT is evolving a lot. If you are that kind of person who wants to be at the forefront always, trying to learn new things, IT might be a good career for you. It contributes to the innovation because of the front runner. You will be the front runner whenever innovation happens. And there is a lot of, like I've been discussing, lot of job roles, so there is a lot of variety and specialization that you can do. And it also gives you some personal and professional satisfaction. Like if you are a problem solver, if you are a critical thinker, it feels good when you solve problems. All right, so what the main thing, right? What it's going to give us? So this is some general statistics that I pulled from some of the competing job-seeking sites, right? So a junior entry-level job in Linux or cloud administration gives you around 50K to 80K. A mid-level is 80 to 120, and a senior or experienced level is going to give you 120 to 160. Again, this depends hugely on your education, your location, your certifications, the industry, company size. Like if you work for a startup, which has like 3 employees, they're not going to pay you that much. But usually this is the general trend, a median of the salaries. So now the main question is, where do I find the resources to learn about this? Since these are evolving technologies and there is a huge demand for it, most of the resources that are available online are of no charge. The 3 main cloud providers right now, the public cloud providers right now are Amazon, or you can call it AWS. You have Microsoft Azure, and then you have Google's GCP. So I put the links for 3 of the major providers here. There are other providers also, by the way, but these are the major providers, and if you get educated in this or get certification in this, there's a good chance that you're going to land a job easily. So with Amazon, there's skillsbuilder.aws. With Azure, it's learn.microsoft.com. And GCP, you have cloud.google.com/learn. So these are major 3 sites. And most of the courses here are free. So you could get those you have to pay for certifications, but you could learn them for free. So utilize this, and inshallah, hopefully, if you are looking into a change of career, or you're starting a career, a lot of youngsters here, if you're looking into a starting career, and they offer good internships also for college-going students, so you could look up their website and apply for internships as well. But it's good to have this under your belt, some certifications. I'm not going to go into the detail of what sites to look. I'm sure Munawar Bhai and Farhan Bhai will cover that. So I think that's the end of my session. I hope I'm in time.
Thank you, Abdul Bhai. So how was the session, guys? Good? Good information? MashaAllah, that's good. Next speaker is Brother Munawar. He's part of my IT team right now, and a lot of experience in IT, currently working with the University of Riverside as a system administrator. He's going to share a lot of experience with you. Or I probably, by mistake, I said the wrong title, but yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm not as eloquent as Brother Abdul, so I apologize in advance. I have a little bit of a nervous, and I might talk too fast, so I apologize. But I was just talking to Hafiz Gulshan earlier, and I have been blessed to be doing this for over half my life. But obviously, there's brothers in this community that have been doing it for longer than I've been alive, like Hafiz Gulshan. He's from a time when, the computers took up the size of this room and were, less powerful than my phone right now. So we have a lot of, alhamdulillah, very experienced brothers in the community. I've just been asked to do this, so we'll see how this goes. I have been doing system administration and IT support for almost 25 years. About a year ago, I transitioned to cybersecurity, so it's a little bit different now. But starting with the fundamentals of system administration, I tried to become a developer, and I hated it. Developing either front end, back end, like even the clock that you guys see, it took me ages to do that, and it was a hassle. But I didn't. Back in, I hate to say this, but back in my day, the IDEs, the development and tools that you used, if you missed a comma, you had to go find the comma yourself. It didn't find it for you, or a semicolon. So I got out of that. I got into hardware. To get into the system administration side, you want to start with the fundamentals of ID, including stuff like computer hardware, how the operating system works, networking, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with websites like Khan Academy. A lot of, my kids use that for school. Coursera is another one that's very popular, as well as edX. This is a screenshot from edX. It's a free self-paced course taught by a professor from a university, and it's titled Information Technology Foundations. Right? Some of the things that are taught in this class are functions of basic computer hardware components, the structure, function, and security associated with networks. Right? So this is my section is more about how to get into the system administration and IT field from a novice perspective. This is another self-paced course on Coursera. It's called Information Technology Fundamentals for Everyone, and it's taught by staff from IBM. As you know, IBM was one of the original founders, Big Blue, from way back in the day. They've been doing, mainframes and computers forever. This course actually has 6 different modules. that will introduce you to hardware operating systems, software programming, databases, network and storage, and also cybersecurity essentials, and even a little bit of cloud computing. So it really takes you all the way through from the basics to really hardcore administration and support of computers. Next up, what you want to do is try to learn about different operating systems. Obviously, the big, the elephant in the room is Windows, desktop operating systems, server operating systems, and of course, cloud, like Abdul Bhai was talking about. I started as a help desk technician and then slowly worked my way up to system administration and storage administration. But if you start with Windows administration, that's the double-edged sword. It'll help you troubleshoot a lot of stuff, but then you'll become IT support for your family, like I have been for the last 20 years. If you get into IT, you have to get used to that. You're gonna become IT support for your family, right? But Windows is the most commonly used operating system in the world, especially in the corporate world. Microsoft offers free courses and resources on their Learn platform, which is available at learn.microsoft.com, including courses, documentation to teach yourself. A lot of this stuff nowadays, you don't have to go to a library. You can do this at home. You can be self-taught essentially. But one of the main things to do is understand the difference between server and client operating systems, right? Like Abdul Bhai was saying, server operating systems are the back end that you're not going to see. They're used in data center environments. They have specific roles. Again, getting a little more detail, but file servers, domain controllers, web servers, all of these courses will teach you that. On the Microsoft Learn platform, there are courses that'll take you through basic installation and configuration of the operating systems, desktop level, server level, cloud-based, et cetera. And they'll help you with troubleshooting, configuration, maintenance, and advanced topics like Active Directory, FSMO roles, security updates, et cetera. So this is a really good resource on that. Another thing I would recommend is, learning about networking. Although when you're doing system administration, networking is not going to be your forte. You don't need to learn about firewalls. You don't need to be an expert in, TCP/IP. But learning the basics of TCP/IP, of DNS, of DHCP is definitely going to be helpful. Cisco, again, another elephant in the room when it comes to networking, has a really good online resource called Net Academy. Cisco Net Academy at netacad.com. They've got a lot of free courses on learning the network essentials. And then, like Abdul Bhai was saying, there's a lot of cloud-based operating systems. And although cloud is the way everything is going, every institute that I've seen still has some sort of on-premises data location, whether it's on-premises or at a co-location. They have a data center. So a lot of those is going to run on VMware. VMware is another big gorilla in the room. Again, I keep saying that term, but they offer a lot of free versions of their VMware Workstation, ESXi, and virtualization is a tool that's used to run multiple, essentially, servers on one piece of hardware. So you can run up to 1,000 servers on one piece of hardware. So it's really consolidated the footprint you need in a data center. So that's another thing I would recommend looking at and learning. The next thing you do, at least this is what's beneficial for me, is getting hands-on. Like I was mentioning earlier, it used to be computers took up rooms or even whole desktops or something like that. Now, my home lab is a little mini computer that's about the size of, smaller than this laptop. I would recommend getting a home lab setup. You can get, and you can use that to do testing and experimentation with virtualization at home. You can experiment with client machines, virtual environments. There's a lot of YouTube tutorials to help you get that set up. You can buy, like I said, a simple mini PC for under $200. There's a lot of open source and freeware projects out there. Proxmox is a very nice, very good open source virtualization software that you can use. And then, of course, like I said, now with the internet, there's a lot of online communities that help you in the journey. Reddit gets a lot of jokes, for memes and stuff like that, but they do have a lot of good resources on there. There's the sysadmin subreddit, as well as the home lab subreddit is a really good site for subreddit, for asking questions. Any problem that you think you have, somebody has already had it, even if you think it's a new problem. Somebody's had it and somebody solved it. Same thing with Spiceworks and Stack Exchange. These are all online communities where you can ask questions. You might get ribbed a little bit. You might get made fun of. You might get memed, but somebody's going to have the answer for you. And these are very useful resources. And then lastly, one of the last things about IT itself is obviously certification. Certification is very important. nowadays, one of the main things I like to start with, this is the one certificate that I have is the A+ certification that I got about 25 years ago. It's an entry-level certification for IT professionals. It's going to help you validate your basic foundational IT skills, including hardware, software, networking, and troubleshooting. And this is ideal for people looking to start a career in IT, such as help desk technicians or desktop support specialists. After that, you have the Network Plus certification, which, as the name entails, it focuses on networking concepts, protocols, network security. And then you have cybersecurity, the Security Plus. It's going to teach you the basics of cybersecurity principles, threats, and best practices. They also now have a Server Plus certification, which focuses on the server administration side. Again, server hardware, server software, the storage technologies, and best practices on that. Another big thing, obviously, is the Microsoft certifications. Those are specifically geared towards Microsoft experts. They have a lot of different, it used to be in my day, it was MCSA and MCSC was the big ones. Now they've got more specialized ones. So the ones I'm focusing on here are the server administration fundamentals. Obviously, server administration basics, as Abdullah said, those courses and everything, the resources and the courses are usually free. It's a certificate that you have to pay for, the certification and the test, which is anywhere from $100 to $500 usually. Some are more, some are less. The server administration fundamentals is going to go over, again, basic installation, the different roles a different server can play. A Windows server is the base. You can add on a bunch of different roles from Active Directory, domain controllers, file and print, to web servers, etc. And then they have a whole certification path, the Windows Server 2019 certification path, which validates your expertise in Windows Server 2019, again, including installation, storage, and this is geared towards professionals that are responsible and want to get into server administration. The next thing I want to talk about is not really technical. One thing that you need in IT that not a lot of people talk about is soft skills. Right, you could be an expert in your skill, but if you're difficult to get along with, you're going to be the first person fired. I'm sorry to tell you. If you're a B student, but you get along with everyone and everybody quote unquote likes you, it's going to go further for you. I've known a lot of people that were brilliant, but were very difficult to get along with, and they didn't last long at multiple companies. So one of the first things that is very important is communication. Right, as an IT person, you have to be able to communicate your IT terms in non-technical terms, right? You need to be able to explain the technical concepts to non-technical users, but also collaborate with other IT professionals and report issues to management. Usually management only sees dollar signs. They don't care why the server went down or why the systems weren't working. They want to know why and why it took so long to come back up. Most people in IT, nobody's going to know you exist until something goes down, right? There's two terms that every IT person knows is what do we pay you for? Because either A, everything's working and you're not doing anything, so what are we paying you for? Or systems are down and you didn't get it back up in time, so what are we paying you for? You have to get used to those two terms. Second thing, problem-solving skills. As Abdullah mentioned, right, problem-solving skills are very, very important in IT. You're going to run into problems, like I said, that you may have never seen, other people have, but to find those skills, you have to be able to identify what's causing this problem. Maybe it's only happening on one computer for one user. But strong problem-solving skills are essential for diagnosing issues, identifying root causes, and implementing effective solutions. Attention to detail is very important, right? You're working, especially system administration, you're working with intricate systems and configurations. A small mistake in configuration or security settings can have significant consequences. One time, 13 years ago now, I had a boss call me at 9 o'clock at night. I was at home, I was with friends watching the Lakers and Celtics game, and I was like, well, he's a Celtics fan, maybe he's calling me to gloat. But no, it turns out I was responsible for security patches, and I had set our Asia servers to reboot at 7 a.m. instead of 7 p.m. So as people were coming into the office, all the servers were offline, right? One little change can cause the entire office to go offline in our Asia offices. So you have to be really, really careful about that. Another thing is time management, right? System administrators are usually juggling multiple tasks and priorities. You've got servers, you've got different servers, some system administrators, especially my last job, you're also help desk. You're doing everything at once. So you have to be able to prioritize issues and tasks, and meet the deadlines, and ensure the critical issues are addressed promptly. Another thing is customer service. I'd say if you're going to start in help desk or even system administration, it's almost like working retail, right? You interact with end users, project managers, especially if you're in development as well, because you have to take user requirements, translate them into a technical aspect, and be able to deliver on that. Right? Yeah, you may end up with end users, especially in system administration side, like, why is this application not working properly? We're frustrated or facing technical issues, and they can't do their job because a system is down, et cetera, right? Accounts payable can't pay their bills, HR can't process new hires or fires, et cetera. So good customer service skills obviously involve patience, empathy, and the ability to provide support while maintaining a positive attitude. Another one is obviously teamwork and collaboration. IT is a collaborative field. You're never going to be on your own. Even if you're programming your little piece of the application, it's got to work with the rest of the application. Or your system has to play with network, right? Your server has to be able to talk to the network, or your server has to be able, your middleware has to be able to incorporate this API to this application, et cetera. So it's a collaborative field. System admins often have to work as part of a team, and you have to be able to collaborate effectively, share knowledge, and contribute to team projects. This one gets overlooked a lot is documentation. Keeping detailed records and documentation of system configs, changes, and troubleshooting steps is critical for maintaining a stable and secure IT environment. Good documentation skills help ensure consistency and enable troubleshooting. If you fixed a problem today, it's going to come back in 3 months, 6 months, right? Whatever process you've done, write it down, document it somewhere so that in 6 months you can refer to it. Or hopefully you get promoted, whoever replaces you can refer to it, that, okay, this is how to fix it, right? And then this is the big one, continuous learning. IT is ever evolving, technology is ever evolving. Like I mentioned, Brother Gulshan was telling me how the first space shuttle, the computer was, had less power than my phone does, right? So that's the type of thing you have to continue to evolve. It's always evolving, so willingness to learn and stay updated. I like to, my motto is learn something new every day. Learn new technologies, best practices, just read. Read everything you can about technology. There's a lot of resources out there, blogs, websites, print media even still, but just continue to read, continue to learn, and continue to evolve yourself, right? Never stop learning. Not just in IT, but in everything, I think. Learn how to fix your car even. Just continue to learn is essential for being in IT, and just, I think, being a good person, personally. But that's my part of it.
Thank you, Manavarbhai. Wonderful information shared. On point. Guys, personality, communication, that's, no matter IT, whatever field you are in, that's what keep you going. Wonderful communication keep you going, wonderful personality keep you going. So focus on these things. So yes, next topic is about Salesforce. How many of you knew about Salesforce? Man, only few people. Okay, so I guess it's good. So I'll move on to Salesforce. So Salesforce is actually service that provide to a very large size enterprise. And what they do is they actually they provide a service to manage customer relationship management software. And that basically is the core business of this company. But on the side, they also help manage a lot of different things that relates to the customer. As Abdul mentioned from the very first time, what we do in IT is manage data. So CRM, which is Customer Relationship Management System, is very important for very large size companies. They wanted to have prediction of the revenue, and it can only be done by a proper type of software, which is Salesforce. Salesforce is very essential for a large enterprise where they can predict the revenue, where they can see, okay, what our sales revenues are coming, where our customers are moving, what statistics we need to go and see how many products have we sold 2 years back, what are the renewals coming up. It provides everything. Any guess, what is their annual revenue? Okay. That was a very easy answer. Nobody answered that. There was a $20 gift card for it. I put the answer up there. Anyway, so their annual revenue is $26 billion, guys. They started everything in cloud. I'm a big fan of Salesforce because 20 years back, well, I would say 30 years back, I started myself as a programmer. and I was working for a company. We were developing different projects. One of the projects we did was very similar to Salesforce, which was to provide intranet with everything cumulative in one piece and needs to be hosted in cloud. So we did that 20 years back, 20 years, a couple of years after Salesforce came, and they hit the market, they hit the jackpot, and everybody moved to the Salesforce. So why it is important? It is important because companies wanted to maintain that data. They pay every year to renew their service. They wanted to know that where their revenues, prediction customers are residing. And to do that, they need Salesforce administrators. So that's what I'm going to go in and tell you that what is the job function of the Salesforce administration. So Salesforce administrators are basically essentially the people who maintain the accounts. There's different level of Salesforce administrator, but at the entry level or a junior level, you maintain the profile of your sales rep for the company. You maintain the profile. You provide the crucial data to the stakeholders. If the CFO wanted to know that, hey, what was the sale of this product last year? It's coming from Salesforce data. They're going to contact the Salesforce administrator. Provide me that data. If they wanted to know that, hey, this specific SKU numbers, how much we were able to sell in a specific region, it's coming from Salesforce. So Salesforce maintained all that data for the enterprise level. So that's why the Salesforce administration job is very crucial. Salesforce itself provides you a path to become a Salesforce administrator. There's a huge demand for it, and there's not that many Salesforce administrators out there. The growth rate is about 26%. Current maturity rate, which I wanted to focus on, is 35%. And what it is, for example, you started as a Salesforce admin at junior level. In 2 to 3 years, you have a lot of experience where you're going to move on to a senior level, or you move on to a developer job or something else. There's a gap for that junior position. And that's where the prediction is, and that's where the demand is constantly there. They constantly need those employees to administrate that part. Now, why can't they outsource this to India, Pakistan, or anywhere in the world? They can, because they need those guys to be present here to provide those crucial data. They cannot. They probably did that a few years back. There was a big trend of outsourcing going on. Not happening anymore. They're bringing all those jobs back here, and they need those administrators to be here because the timeline, the data is a lot more important to them than 5 years back. So that's why this certification is very crucial. Now, how to get this certification? I'm gonna discuss that with you in next slide. Now, there is, like I said, that path by Salesforce called trailhead.salesforce.com. You can start a profile there. You can get into like a path. There's 3 different levels you have to pass: the beginner's level, the intermediate level, and the advanced level. And I have never seen such an organized training session. It's just amazing. They walk you through with everything on the screen. They test you at the bottom. So they're really giving you all the skill set to become that. Now, do you need a background to be a Salesforce administrator? Absolutely. You need to know at least how to navigate through the websites. Basic skills of finance, like Excel worksheet knowledge, Microsoft Word knowledge. But you don't need to be a programmer or developer or any kind of other background. You just need to be an individual who is probably already working, or you wanted to do a career change, and you wanted to, it's a mom that looking for a job, and you're looking for a remote work, or a dad who's changing a job or looking for a remote work. 90% of the Salesforce administration jobs are remote. There are very few times they want you to come to the office. There is no practical benefit to them to have you in the office. They can have you do everything right there from the remote side. So again, start at trailhead.com. Enroll yourself. You can use your Google email to start the profile. Select the courses there. When you log in, you're going to select Salesforce Administration course. It's going to pick the trails for you, which is, again, the beginning trail, intermediate trail, and the advanced trail. Once you complete with those trails, it gives you option to apply for a certificate. It's a remote certification that you can do. There's a camera on, and you can do it through online. You have to pay for the certification. It's not free, but the training is completely free. Like all the other options are out there that provide you free training. So this certification is very crucial for the business. And again, once there's a free option, there's also a paid option. There's a lot of companies that offer you paid option. The benefit with the paid option is they give you like a course that you need to follow. So if you are one of those people that you wanted to enroll and follow a step-by-step guide, but at the same time they put you with another company to learn as an intern to get the experience. That's the benefit with all these paid programs. With free program, you have to get the certification, and then create your profile, apply for a job, and hopefully you will get the job. Well, with paid options, you actually get the experience. They connect you with the company to get that experience. And the pricing for that is somewhere around you can Google online, but it's somewhere $2,500 to $4,000, and the course usually take 5 to 6 months to become a certified. Next, I wanted to share with you that how to find the job. So, how many of you know about the LinkedIn? Right, a lot of people know. So that's good. So, create your profile, update your certificate on it. That hey, I am looking for a Salesforce administration job. How I can turn off my just quit. Just keep talking. Anyway, so create your profile, tag yourself that you're looking for a job. That's really crucial. Second step is find the people who are currently Salesforce administrators. Connect with them. Communicate with them that, hey, I'm a fresh graduate. I just finished up with the certificate. I'm looking for a job. I know several people, they end up getting the job because they end up talking to the people and saying like, hey, I just finished my certification. I'm looking for work. Can you help me? And guess what? Their company was looking to hire another admin, and they get connected and it works. So communication is like Abdul Bhai said, and Munawar Bhai said, very important in this field. You need to constantly communicate, with other people. Add different profiles within your connection at LinkedIn to connect with all those guys. Search for the junior admin entry-level jobs. I mean, you're not gonna get a senior level job by just finishing the certificate. So look for a junior level, entry-level jobs, get the experience, and very quickly you're gonna notice that your salary is gonna jump up. I mean, I have some salary range at the bottom. The entry-level ranges, I think nowadays living in LA, any entry-level job is around 65K. Nobody even, considers 55,000. It's 65K in IT field that you will start. With 2 years of experience, your salary range jump up from 75 to 90K. With 5 years experience, it jumps up from 95 to 120K. But I wanted to be clear about something, that there will be a hard stop on this job at one point on a salary range. You're not gonna keep going up and up because it caters a very limited portion of the demand. So it is good that you can jump up to the salary range, but to move up to a different level, you might consider at that point when you have 5-6 years of experience, become a Salesforce consultant or become a Salesforce developer to learn how to develop apps in Salesforce. So that's after 5 years that you can get into that. And with that, that's all I have to cover. And the next topic is cybersecurity. I'm looking at the time; it's about 8:04. So most probably we're gonna in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we're gonna finish the cybersecurity, and then the Q&A is gonna be after the Isham prayer.
So this was supposed to be Brother Imran, but he got sick, so please pray for his quick recovery, inshallah. Like we mentioned, I've been doing system administration for a long time. Last year, I transitioned to manager of cyber risk and compliance. So I'm going to try to do this. Imran Bhai is the expert on this, but I'm going to try to do it. So cybersecurity and the importance of cybersecurity. This is a huge topic right now. I'm sure if you've watched any of the news, even in 2020 and 2016, right, election hacking, right? Recently, the University of Michigan, if you saw the news, they were hacked and their entire campus was down for multiple days. They couldn't do classes, couldn't do payments, couldn't disperse their FAFSA distributions. They were entirely down. This is a very big topic because not only for the government but for individuals, right? There are people who, you shouldn't use. There are people, for example, the UC system where I work will not allow TikTok on any of your applications because it's a Chinese app. Now you say, oh, what does TikTok have to do with me? Who cares if China knows that I watch these videos? It's not that they also know you watch the videos, but the applications are written in such a way that they know everything else that's on your phone, right? There's no sandbox environment. TikTok will know that, oh, you're connected to, let's say you work for, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, right? You'll know you're on their Wi-Fi. They can now start pinging from your phone other devices and look for securities to get in from. So cybersecurity is a huge, huge, huge issue right now for not just government, but companies. They're investing a lot of money in that. There was a big breach a few months ago. Barracuda, they are a email security gateway. They're an email security gateway, and they found a flaw in there that where Russia had already hacked it, and they were already it was hacked at such a level that Barracuda did not have a fix for it. They're like, we just have to replace their unit. That happened at a bunch of different universities, and they were basically intercepting mail going in and out, right? So how do you get into cybersecurity? Again, there's a lot of different certifications. Microsoft has certifications for cybersecurity, security, compliance, and identity fundamentals. Like I mentioned earlier, CompTIA has a security certificate called Security Plus. There's a Certified Information Systems Security Professional, and then the GAIC Security Essential Certification. These range anywhere from 500 to 1,500. There's obviously, you'll see, I think UCI has one. I know UCR Extension has one. There's a cybersecurity boot camp. Anywhere from 8 to 24 weeks. Some are even, I've seen 6 weeks. They'll basically run you through a boot camp of what to look for and how to do it. The biggest thing that cybersecurity analysts do is using a SIM tool. System Information and Event Management Tool. A very popular one is Splunk, which has been in the news recently. They just got bought out by Cisco for some insane amount, 28 billion or something like that. But what a SIM tool does, right, it gathers, consolidates, analyzes data sets sourced from all your applications. So all the logs from your applications, your servers, your user activities in real time. Right, so anything that's happening on your network gets logged into Splunk, and then the system analyst, the information security analyst, they're parsing through that using various scripts, various AI technologies to look for different tools. One of the most common ones that happens is, Brother Farhan, we know he's working remote, he lives in Corona. Why are we seeing him logging in from the Philippines, right? Or he was in Corona this morning, now he's in Miami. What's going on? So as soon as the analyst sees that, the tool's gonna see that, it's gonna lock his account. Unless he said, oh, you know what, I'm going on, he's gotta let the people, especially if he's in a high enough position, he has to let the information security office know that, hey, I'm traveling for vacation, but I'm gonna be working still, right? So maybe this morning he was in Corona or in Ontario and he got on his flight and now he's in Miami vacationing, but he's logged in. So then they'll know that. But if they see that and you don't tell them, they're gonna lock your account. So that's one of the big tools that the security information team uses. Again, what are the capabilities and use cases? Like I said, log management, event correlation. Farhan was in Miami or in Corona, now he's in New York, now he's in Miami. Why is that happening? Who's trying to hack into his account, right? That's usually what happens. Incident monitoring and responses, that's a very common one as well, is why is there all of a sudden so much traffic coming from this, why is there so much traffic coming from source A to source or destination B? Why is this thing being attacked? Is there a vulnerability on this device that we don't know about yet? Anomalies, very similar to the anomaly I was talking about earlier, right? It was why is all of a sudden this account that was logging in from location A now logging in from a location B? That's not possible, right? Machine learning, and I think that's supposed to be AI, not IA. Machine learning is obviously the new thing. It's very popular, like we Abdul mentioned, ChatGPT. The SIM tools are using machine learning and AI to be able to tell like why is X event happening, and they're going to be able to catch that. Benefits of using the SIM system, it's again a one single dashboard to see all of your threats, right? It's a dashboard that you can see. You can use it to do real-time threat identification and response. It tells you, what to look for. It's going to tell you where your vulnerabilities are, where your users are, and what is happening with the applications and the devices. And then some of the SIMs will also tell you, especially in the university environment, or if you're in a health environment with HIPAA regulations. At UCs, we have FERPA regulations protecting student data. Student health data is also there. UCs also have medical data because there's usually UC, like UCI Health, UCR Health, the health department. The health data is a very, very critical. Electronic health records were like Abdul mentioned, a very big boon in IT jobs, but there's also very, very data and security involved in that. It got rid of all the filing cabinets in the doctor's offices, but now you have to be sure. Doctors are very, very, very cognizant about being sued for that, because you cannot give that data out to anybody, right? If that data gets leaked, the HIPAA regulations are very, very, very strong, and the laws against breaking them are very, very brutal. They can be very damaging to a business and the reputation. A lot of fines, yes, very, very, very fine heavy. Obviously, with Europe, if you're dealing with Europe, they have the GDPR rules, right? They have completely different. Any personally identifiable information is prone to be. You have to protect that if you're a business, right? Any company, if you deal with Europe, if you're selling to Europe, if you have customers in Europe, Europe has a very, very, very strong laws about any information about that customer, name, phone number, addresses, has to be protected and encrypted. California has similar laws, right? Personally identified information. So you have to be very careful about how it's protected. Again, the different certifications that you can get and the different jobs that you can get with these certifications. Data analyst, Elastic Research Engineer, and Observability Engineer. I'm not very familiar with that. I was hoping Imran Bhai could talk about that. One of the things that is not listed here that my team does is risk analyst. Risk analyst is a very unique position in that there's not a lot of IT job. You're not sitting behind a computer, right? A security analyst and a security operation analyst that's using the SIM tools, they're going to be monitoring the logs. They're checking the logs. They're monitoring activity. But a risk engineer and a risk analyst, what you're doing is you're monitoring or you're doing research on different vendors, different units. What is their risk capability? What is the risk tolerance for this unit? Obviously, a medical or a health unit a company is going to have a very low risk tolerance, right? But a research university or a research institute may have a high risk tolerance. We have to allow risk to be able to do the research, right? If you lock everything down in a research university, you're not going to be able to get anything done. So you have to do a lot of research, a lot of reporting. So that's a different aspect of security and risk analysis. Same thing, job opportunities. So in cybersecurity, just like every IT field, there is an opportunity in every field, from health to automotive to higher education, finance. Finance is a big one as well right now, especially with cybersecurity because of all the hacking attempts with the Wall Street, et cetera. Right, do you have any comments on that? Okay. Same thing, salary range. Cybersecurity, like I said, is very hot right now, especially in LA and Bay Area. Again, these are remote jobs. My team, they're completely remote. That's a very big opportunity in cybersecurity, is you're completely remote. I have 3 members of my team. One works in Mammoth, one lives in Oregon, and one lives in downtown LA. I work for UC Riverside, right? So they're nowhere near the university. Remote jobs, there are plenty in IT. They're everywhere. Some are trying to get back to to the office, but most companies are staying at least to some hybrid form. The salary for this cybersecurity ranges is very good. Again, at least 80K is what I've seen. He's got 60 to 80K here, and anywhere up to senior level, 180K higher in the Bay Area. Obviously, we're talking about local SoCal. I think we'll stop here for Salah. And then afterwards, we'll be here for any Q&A. If anybody has any questions, answers. If not,
Yes, so we're gonna take a hard stop right now. It's 8:14. So we'll continue after the Isha prayer. And once everybody done praying Sunnah, we're gonna come back here. Any questions you have on any topic, we're happy to answer. Thanks.